Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today one of these three clowns from the new House of X update is finally getting their new clown suit, and I think it's going to be Magneto. Magneto is the one character from the House of X update that I think really needed a uniform, obviously way more than Jean Grey, and a bit more than Wolverine. He was pretty lackluster, wasn't really dominant in PvE or PvP, even from when he was released as a tier 3 and he got his Marvel Now uniform that you see here. Basically, all this uniform gave him was really big biceps, like really big. Like, those should not be Magneto's biceps. I'm sorry. I know Magneto's jacked, but this is like, yeah, somebody hasn't been reading the comics. I don't think this is comics accurate, but I could be wrong. Maybe he's like really roided out. He's really excited for his team up with Xavier and for Xavier to be out of the wheelchair. So we're going to be picking up this uniform. We're going to be talking about it and seeing how much better it is. It is a massive upgrade for him. It looks beautiful. The skills are amazing, and he's got a really fun skill rotation. One of the problems that I think a lot of more casual players had with this uniform, on top of hearing from the competitive players that it wasn't a good increase in his damage and output, it's just boring. He kind of just rises and falls with all of his skill animations, and there's just some purple crap, whether it's purple bars, like lines, like he's beaming a bunch of people up to the starship, or it's a purple circle, or it's a purple circle around him. It's all very repetitive and all very derivative, but they did a really good job. I have to say, as much as I criticize this update, and as much as there are tons of things wrong with this update, this is probably the thing that is most right with this update. The other big thing that I wanted to cover with this uniform is that he becomes an amazing striker for World Boss. Now, we're not in short supply of amazing strikers in Marvel Future Fight, so it may be a bit repetitive for you guys out there who have a lot of characters unlocked, but if you are a newer player, I think there's a lot more incentive now if you're pushing for meta stuff to maybe skip the Invisible Woman pack and go directly for the Magneto pack if you're going to drop crystals for Magneto's uniform, because then even at tier 2 he becomes a 3-second paralysis striker. Let me pick up this uniform so we can start talking about it. Boom, there's my crystals, there's my spending. I've never been this stingy about the spending, but yes, with his new uniform, his striker ability becomes Metal Crusher, and he comes in and drops a 3-second paralysis on the world boss every time he strikes. Really nice. Not to mention the fact that as a skill, when you're playing him, you can see it's a 3-second paralysis with a 5-second cooldown. So you can really lock down a lot of enemies. That makes him a lot better for Cull Obsidian. You can really control how often Cull Obsidian will purify, because whenever Cull Obsidian's not mind controlled or crowd controlled, and he does that, like that shoulder swipe where it sends a line at you, that will purify whatever debuffs he has, including all defense down. And that's why your damage spikes will just suddenly drop off the face of a cliff, even if you press the co-op skill. So this can be a really good setup, and this can be a really good containment skill to keep him under control. And I know a lot of you out there, I see, you're pretty developed players in terms of having played for a couple of years, but you didn't have the crystals, or you didn't want to drop them on Rachel, so you don't have her. Scarlet Witch is not that powerful anymore, and you don't want to spend the, hundreds of thousands, 10,000 black antimatter to get her ranked up, and the gold and then the crystals. So you're actually lacking some of these strikers. I see a lot of you guys using Molten Man. I see some of you guys using Ebony Maw or even Phantom X. So I think Magneto, I think they did a really good job recognizing that a lot of people own Magneto, and now he has a lot of extra utility. He's a main DPS, he's a leadership for other mutants, and he's a striker for World Boss. So he really ticks a lot of boxes with this uniform. Now I cannot use, I can use a mythic rank up ticket on his uniform. Okay, but I've saved up, as you can see, I've saved up 1,400 of his biometrics, so I can just rapidly boost this to mythic. Now, we're gonna do this here. We're not necessarily gonna go all the way to mythic, but we'll go at least to the first 2 stages. I like going to the first 2 stages because it's gonna give him a stat bump for his attack, his energy attack stat, and it's also going to let me play around with a little bit of flexibility on that first one. So we've got dodge there for the CTP of rage, so we do want to swap that over to dodge, and then swap the other one over to energy attack. You know what? 7 Deadly Sins, I've been talking about that game a lot. Pretty much all of the RNG in gear rolling and sort of character building that they have has a pity timer, or sort of like a gauge that will fill up as you fail, and then when it fills up to 100%, you can click a button and it will guarantee that the next roll is exactly what you want it to be, or is like a successful roll. So I just see those things, and I can see that they would be very welcome and very easily implemented into this game, I feel like. and they would really make the pain of building up characters in some cases more of a joy, or at least more of a neutral thing. You could just plan ahead and be like, you know what, I finally saved up whatever, 5 million gold or 10 million gold. I know I can guarantee that I'm going to get exactly what I want from my ISO 8 set or from these Uru amplifications or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Don't worry, I mean, I am cheating on Marvel Future Fight. We're going to go with one more here, but don't worry, I'm not giving up on Marvel Future Fight. I don't give up that easily. I could do this all day, all right? So we went one more stage. We basically went to Mythic right away. We might as well go to Mythic on this video. You guys probably want to see it. This is a bit of a tease if I leave it at Legendary, but I did that for the dodge. I didn't realize I still have a CTP of Rage on him, so we want the maximum amount of dodge to really push his build. I don't think it's necessary to do a comparison between his old uniform and his new uniform, because there's no question. There's no question. Like, just forgetting all the extra damage that he does, even if this uniform just gave him the paralysis and the ignore immunity, it might be good enough. Like, this is a Wolverine-esque rework, which would be bad, but and it's also the 20% hit chain damage. That really helps a lot, and it helps for lower spending players. Man, he's got invincibility now. He's got accumulation. Man, so many good stats. But yeah, the chain hit damage will make him better with a CTP of energy, so I might actually end up testing him out with the CTP of energy to see where that gets us. That's all my level 4 XP chips. You know what? I am going to pop these because it's going to save me one inventory slot. So I know you guys love playing the inventory game in Marvel Future Fight. I do too, but we are going to go to Mythic. Screw it. I changed my mind. Boom. There you go. That was uniform XP tickets, chips, and biometrics that I had saved up for Magneto. We're going to go with crit damage here. We've got all of these options Mythic, which is really awesome for his stats. So there we go. Oh, no, they're not all Mythic. Oh, come on, Ben. You let me down. Well, that's okay. Yeah, this thing is just rocking. And, yeah, we'll have to see how much damage he outputs. But, yeah, CTP of energy will work. Now, you can see my ignore defense is not quite capped. I'm overcapped on dodge by 8%, though. That's not good. Okay, there's definitely some fine-tuning that I can do with this build. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fine-tuning. Okay. Yeah, I see that one Uru. All right, we'll do the fine-tuning later. Let's jump into some action. So first up, we're going to test him out against his old nemesis here in Master Mold. Now, we have the type disadvantage. We are Blast, and this is a speed day, so we're just going to have to deal with that. But you get to see the beauty of Magneto's animations. We're going to talk about it as well, because as you can see there, for those of you that bought this uniform and aren't yet sure how to play as him, it's so beautiful seeing Monsieur at the same time. Man, imagine if Giant Boss Fight had great rewards. People would just play this all day, and Marvel Future Fight would get the best advertising ever, because people would see this and be like, oh my god, this game is amazing. I want to play it. Gimme, gimme, gimme. But instead, we get, other stuff. Anyways, as far as the rotation goes for his build, once you see that ball on his 5th skill, once you see that ball materialize above his head, you can actually cancel the 5th skill, and you will get that beautiful metallic mayhem accumulation, and you'll get all the damage from the ball crashing down. So watch one more time. As soon as you see the ball materialize above him, you can cancel into 4, then 2, then 3, or 3 and then 2. It's a really fast sort of frenetic rotation, but it can really work wonders for him. And see, we pop into the tier 3 here. We're gonna wait until he points at Master Mold or at the enemy, but you can cancel 4 pretty much right away. You can almost cancel 5 right away. Man, he's so much fun to play, so beautiful. And maybe we canceled 4 a little bit early, but man, we just washed through that and we nuked. Ooh, we kept up with a tier 3 Sharon Rogers. Good job, Magonkis. 54% of the damage. You can see that 90 seconds he bursts out over 30 million damage, and this is with only 175% crit damage. As you saw, my build was suboptimal. I still have to optimize it. I have to move that 8% dodge over to crit damage. I can definitely get him more crit damage, and then who knows, he can go even higher. He doesn't even have any Odin's blessings whatsoever, so this is not even close to his final form. Next up, I want to show off Magneto with no strikers to see what his damage looks like and how much he can output here on a stage 60 against Call of City. Now, I know stage 60 is not the highest stage ever, and yeah, stage 99, yada, 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 but that's always with strikers. That's always sort of, a little bit of a misrepresentation because you're getting so much help. But I want to see here now, he's got his own all defense down. He's got his own setup. We sort of lost some of the damage there because we didn't penetrate, or we didn't paralyze him in time. But if you paralyze him, yeah, you may have to do 3 into 2. If you can keep that paralysis up, he's really not going to be able to do anything. There we drop the all defense down, which is nice. We want to do this and then do that to paralyze him again. Nice. Look at this damage. And you just flow through the skills. Most of the time, 60% of the time, he is completely locked in place. And you can see you can really cancel. You can be really aggressive and cancel. Nice. Cancel basically 2, 3, and 4 almost instantaneously, and then just sit on 1 and sit a little bit on 5. Giggity. But you really, yeah, doing 3 into 6 is nice to guarantee that damage. The only thing is we're taking a little bit of damage from the meteors below us, but otherwise, like, look at this, man. Completely locking him down. This is exactly what Magneto should have been from the beginning. Oh, let's see this. So this was a nice... Oh, I didn't do 2 first. Oh, I was supposed to squeeze in 2 before the... I think it was before. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. And you can even be at range. Look at that. Look at the range on Magneto. He has to get close for the 5th skill, but if you don't do 5, you could even keep distance between you and your enemy. Let's see here. Paralyze him again. Man, wow. This is such a good upgrade. They did a great job with this. It's just too bad that the rest of the update can't be like Magneto, because if it was, I would be so in love with this update. Everyone would be so happy. Let's paralyze. Oh, I was trying to paralyze him again before he got to doing this phase change, but he can definitely clear this. So he can clear at least, I mean, probably go higher than stage 60, right? He could go to 70. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, we survived. Wow. He could go. Nope. Nope. Oh, the paralysis does take a second. Okay, just so you guys know that the paralysis doesn't happen right as you press the skill. It does take a second. But he can go at least to 60, possibly higher depending on your build, and then depending on whether you want to use any kind of strikers whatsoever. But even without any strikers, man, he crushes it. You might want to actually do 5 before 6 so you get that accumulation going, and maybe bring anti-venom for the heals so you can stand in the puddles. But damn, Magneto got a huge upgrade. Last but not least, I know that he's not fitted for PvP. He doesn't have a regen or an authority. He's got a CTP of rage. He could possibly also be good with the CTP of destruction, but I wanted to try out Magneto in PvP just for fun and just to see what he can do. With his invincibility on 4, I feel like he might be able to surprise... Nope. I got obliterated. Might be able to surprise some people. Nimrod is just too strong. It's too thematic. It's too thematic that Nimrod absolutely obliterates the mutants and doesn't give us a chance to even survive. All right, I want to try one more time on this new stage. Okay, yeah, the extinction protocol is in full effect. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah, okay. This is yeah, okay. Nice Nimrod. Nice Nimrod preview before we get his, hopefully, well, maybe we'll get his uniform. And see it and test that out. Oh, maybe Colossus has some juice for Nimrod. Oh. No, he doesn't. Maybe. Oh, Colossus does have juice for Nimrod. Does Colossus have juice for Jean Grey? You're not blast anymore, biatch. No? Okay. Well, you can hope. A man can hope. Look what happens when I'm actually enjoying this update, because they actually got one thing right amid all the effery with Mandalay gem fragments, aka give us more money for the same thing, squad battle rewards being a joke, and then the other stuff that we talked about. Anyways, let me know what you think of Magneto. This was a full showcase. I think he might be able to do some PvP action with the CTP of destruction. Maybe some people out there want to try that. But yeah, I just have to check. I didn't really think too hard about his iframes. He has very, very short cooldowns, but if he doesn't have enough iframes, he might not be able to make it work. Maybe he lost some iframes with this new updated uniform, which might make him a little bit worse for PvP. And of course, he lost the damage against machine types, which will lower his damage against Sentinel / Nimrod, who is a machine type, but he does get the chain hit damage. So hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of our White Lord, or our new god. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.